What's up, everybody? This is Brian Zeke, aka Franchise Play, with the breakdown of the Showtime pay-per-view on Saturday, July the 12th. I'm going to start it off. The main event, of course, was Erislandy Lara against Canelo Alvarez. We're going to start it off, though, with Mauricio Herrera against Juan Perez. It was an entertaining fight, about what I expected it to be. Competitive boxing match, but neither guy has titanic power. But neither of them are actually afraid to get in there and kind of mix it up. So it was competitive, but I just thought that Herrera was a little bit slicker, well, a lot slicker. Perez had the reach advantage, but having watched him fight before, I kind of knew that he's not the type of tall fighter who knows how to use his reach and height. And I think that Herrera really was able to take advantage of that, getting inside, and Perez wasn't doing enough to actually create the distance to be able to use that reach. So I totally agree with the decision with Mauricio Herrera winning the decision. I think it probably should have been unanimous, but nonetheless, he still gets the win in one of the interim, I believe, WBA title. There's so many titles flying around right now, you don't even know. I know who won and who lost. You know what I'm saying? The next fight was Juan Manuel Lopez taking on Francisco Vargas. I'm just going to put it plain, and I tweeted this right after it happened. Please, Juan Manuel Lopez needs to retire. I really liked him coming up, and I still, like him. But at this point in his career, he's only taken beatings, and he's, come on. Like in his last 8 fights, he's 4-4. He's been stopped in all of the losses. He's been stopped. He's got stopped in this fight, so he got knocked out or TKO. The fight got stopped actually at the end of the 3rd round, so before the 4th round started. His corner decided to stop the fight. His problem is defensively, it's nothing there. He just does not slip punches at all, doesn't move his head, gets really caught up into exchanges, and nowadays it just very rarely seems that he's actually getting the best in the exchanges. Paulie Malignaggi was saying this during the fight, and yeah, I actually knew, I predicted that he would get knocked out. I didn't think he was going to get knocked out quite as early, but I did think he was going to get knocked out. At this point, he is just a whooped fighter. He's only 31 years old, but he's really like 39 out there because of the wars and stuff that he's already been in. Vargas, I thought, looked pretty good. I was impressed with what I've seen from him previously. I think he's got a pretty decent future. Nice, just relentless type of a come-forward fighter. And he did well. He did well. And against a more elusive guy, he might have problems, but he did well on Saturday night. The next fight was the return of Abner Marez. Been away for 11 months. Last time he was in the ring, he got knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez. He came out taking on Jonathan Oquendo. I actually expected this fight to be a little bit better than it turned out. I thought Oquendo had some nice hand speed and what I had seen from him before, and I thought he would give Marez a little bit of a fight. And to be quite honest, on my particular scorecard, I only gave Oquendo 1 round. It was a round, I believe it was the 4th round. He cut Abner Marez with an uppercut. You can tell it bothered Marez for the rest of the round, but Jacob Stitch Duran was in Marez's corner, as well as his new trainer now, Virgil Hunter, was in his corner. Stitch took care of that cut. It didn't move anymore for the rest of the fight. So I don't know what type of coagulants he used, but it was awesome. It worked out real well. Also, Marez is employing the new defensive strategies and stuff like that he got from Virgil Hunter. A lot of people talk bad about Virgil Hunter, because he's Andre Ward's trainer, he's Amir Khan's trainer. Guys who want to fight defensively, Amir Khan getting knocked out, that was something he needed to do. They get with Virgil Hunter and they get their defense together. That's exactly what seems to have happened with Marez. But fans were booing at some point because there wasn't a ton of action. I don't know, man. In my opinion, boxing is about not getting hit and hitting. And if you forget one part of that, you're not going to be a great fighter. If you do too much of one aspect of it, you're not going to be a great fighter. So you know, I think that Marez looked a lot better. You know, he was undefeated before the loss, but I thought that he just looked like a better fighter. He did show some willingness to exchange, got in through some combinations, but Oquendo just couldn't really get off. It looked like he was looking for the big shot the entire fight, and it just never came. And he just didn't throw enough punches, as you can see there. Just didn't do enough. I didn't think so. Yeah, I think that was pretty much how he ended up losing the fight. He lost a clear unanimous decision, and Marez was able to shake off the loss. He, you know, had been gone for 11 months, so we thought there might be a little bit of ring rust, but he had a little bit. He had a little bit maybe, but overall, I thought he was as sharp of a boxer as I had seen from him. So that was cool. Moving on to the main event. You see the judges there because this is important. Canelo Alvarez taking on Erislandy Lara. This was a good fight. I don't care what anybody tells you, it was a good fight. It was a nice tactical fight. Made you wonder several times throughout the fight what exactly was going to happen. Lara made it clear early on that he was going to be moving. He was going to be elusive. He was not going to stand and trade with Canelo. I actually thought he might, because I thought he was going to think, hey, I'm not going to get a fair shake on these with the judges. People say my style isn't all that, you know, exciting, so I want to win this fight and plant a seed. So that's what I thought he was going to do. He didn't do that. He stuck to his guns, stuck to his game plan, and through the first, I'd say 3 rounds, I think he clearly outboxed Canelo. I mean, Canelo was swinging and missing more often than not, and Lara was landing a lot of 1-2 combinations. I would say somewhere around the 5th or 6th round, things started to change a little bit. Canelo was doing some good work to the body, and as he was doing that work to the body, Lara started to slow down a little bit. In the 7th round, Canelo cut Lara with an uppercut. It was a bad gash on the right corner of Lara's eye, and you could tell that it bothered him because he slowed down for the entire round. He was wiping blood from his eye from, I would say, from the 7th round all the way through the 9th. So I thought Canelo really got himself into the fight at that point, because on my scorecard I had him down a lot. So I thought he got back into the fight at that point. But I would say around about the 10th round, Lara seemed to get a resurgence. And you can see here through 9 rounds, Steve Farhood, the the Showtime like resident judge and analyst, he had Lara up by a point. And I had it somewhere close to that. I think I might have had it even at that point, or at the 9th round, at the point of the 9th round. But I thought in the 10th round and the 11th, especially in the 10th though, especially in the 10th, Lara really outboxed Canelo, landed some hard combinations. I don't think he ever hurt Canelo at any point. Canelo's really proven to have a pretty good chin, because he takes some solid shots and, you know, doesn't move. You see his head snap back, but you don't see any difference in his demeanor. Really showing to have a really good chin. But I thought Lara outboxed him. Now, it was a close fight, and there were some rounds that could have gone either way. So I certainly don't hold anything against anybody or have a problem with someone saying that Canelo won, which officially he did win a split decision. I don't have a problem with the judge, with the overall, the bottom line. But one particular judge, Levi Martinez, had it 117 to 111 for Canelo, and I just don't know what fight that person saw, because there's no way that's the case. I had it 116, 114 for Lara, but like I said, admittedly, there were some very close rounds that were very hard to judge. But in the end, the only judges that count, the only scorecards that count, is the ones from the official judges, and they had Canelo winning, or 2 of them had Canelo winning, so he goes on with a split decision. Lara's going to have a hard time getting fights, because he has that curse of being too good and too boring. So guys don't like to take chances with fighters like that. So that's what it is. So you guys subscribe, follow, and God bless.